Yo, let's get acquainted with this title. When we talk about the Wasteland and the Sega in general, we think almost immediately of the role in its pursued Western style, with all its phases. However, many also associate the Sega with the creation and direction of Brian Fago, and that has a great why behind it. Beyond that, the director and creative was behind the original conception of the Fallout saga. Fago is known in the same way for having been the director of the first Wasteland title, conceiving one more franchise. A saga that has also seen the game that started Wasteland relaunch in remastering on February 25, 2020. But we are not going with too many flaws. We have been truthfully testing Wasteland 3, checking if the saga of post-apocalyptic games is still in a good shape, despite the fact that the first Wasteland was released in 1988. Wasteland 2 last 2013, and this third installment has done on 2020. And you know what? We can be sure of it. The game takes us back to a desolate and white-hat environment, only this time we will control two characters in a cooperative mode as seen in our trailer, and on which much of gameplay will revolve. All this on the 4 difficulty options from lowing to highest, beginner, inhabitant of the wasteland, ranger and supreme cocoon. Each of the modes has a number of custom settings. The first 2 have the friendly fire option disabled, with which we will not be able to hurt our allies, while the last 2 do have it achieved. But one more thing, each difficulty can be customized, and if we want, friendly fire can be activated in any mode, even if it's deactivated by default. In Wasteland 3 we are a group of rangers that headquarters have sent with a convoy to Colorado to establish a chain of supplies that they are vital to Arizona. But things go wrong, of course, and we will end up alone with a somewhat complicated start to the game. Things are not easy here, much less so much snow. Before starting, after a brief introductory scene, you can see how the cooperative mode works, since we are going to choose the 2 characters with whom we will do the story, 4 couples. From here it can be seen that Wasteland 3 is the vital that one character is not well developed, must complemented by the other or seek a balance. That is, if a character does not have skills in a medicine or explosives, it may be a good idea to partner to know to do some of that. Among the already created characters to choose from, we have the punk lovers, William enlisting father and daughter, Dusty and Marie mentor apparitions, and the geniuses. Each of has their own abilities, very different from those of their partner and some similar to those of other couples. We also have the option of creating own characters if none of them convicts us. Everything's fine. Then we're ready to start survival in Wasteland 3. With this short tutorial we are shown the combat mechanism, a game that remains faithful to board type strategy. Something that reminiscent or not of Wasteland 2, for example, can also be found in other sagas such as Fire Emblem. At first we will only be asked to survive as we can. The cold and the danger of Dorsey is the family that will be our enemy from the beginning, sometimes that it seems soon as we begin. But hey, what's really meant to find the Patriarch, a person who is said to be owner of all Colorado? Once we found him, and some problems have been erected in a facility that he gives us right after he proposed a deal. All through he rather assign a mission. The Patriarch has 2 sons and a daughter, Liberty, Valor and Victory, all complete disasters, who do not want to follow in their father's footsteps. At this point we already imagine that it will not be as easy as they painted. The Patriarch tells us that each one is in a different place and everybody has difficulties that prevent us from reaching them, be it enemy protection or simply intelligence above the mean. It is from this point that true world of Wastelands kicks in. Let's start with the basics, because cooperative yes, but how far? As soon as we speak with the Patriarch, he asks us to sort some matters in the residence behind him. And it is that the area to which we have arrived with a special charm and will serve for residence for the rangers. Although we have to make sure it looks better, but in reality that's not so bad, okay? After this we will have established the base of the Rangers, something worn and gifted with many broken things, objects and people still inside. But if we don't want to entertain ourselves with this yet, that's fine. The objective is still to reach the Patriarch children and take them away. Easy, right? Well, no, for two simple reasons. The first one is that we still very low levels to think about getting with the mission, and that is something that not even a game will let us to do. The second is that our teams need more help than a V1 flat tires. We need capable people such as doctors and mechanics. It is then that we can verify a few hours after starting to play. Then one thing leads to another, and that perhaps we have not yet activated even a half of the necessary experience to reach the first son of the Patriarch. But we have already done 50 favors. At first, Wasteland 3 is a cooperative 2 Rangers, but that is not the limit. We can carry a maximum up to 6 characters. The limitation is marked when adding new Rangers, which will be 4, leaving the other 2 hotels for characters who want to join our adventure. There will be. In this case, more characters does not mean better. Let's remember for the moment of the word game. We have to have weapons, equipment, medicine, cabinets, altered states in the characters, ammunition that one of them dies during a confrontation, etc. But since the facts cannot be solved in the past, this extra help will always find some help. It is from here that something very interesting joins our team, and this time it's not something else. It's the Kodiak, a vehicle with which to explore the frozen waste, that weapons, radar, and that will be customized for everything we want to put on it. The vehicle is very particular and attractive addition, and it's appreciated if we want to take a break from exploring on foot. But there is always a but. You have to take good care of it, as if it were just another person on the team. In the snow you can get stuck, take damage, and require resource consuming repairs. This is why first and foremost we have to recruit staff to help us out. In addition, all through the game does not have voices in Spanish, French and other languages. We only have the available in English. The work of localization the game with the subtitles fascinating. There will be not a phrase or dialogue that does not leave us with a giggle between our lips. In a short, Wasteland 3 is a pleasant and fulfilling experience made for the enjoyment all those who like good dose of role-playing and turn-based combat on a board. We have enjoyed before the saga of this the first time we ventured to play in the post-apocalyptic environment. Well, the assessment. The Wasteland 3 is an example for the in-exile time in not independent to making great games. The passage of the years has not prevented the saga from greatly improving and continuing to be at very high levels of quality. The best, the gameplay, the character, the NPC and their world, your role of the system, different modes and character skills, quality improvement. The worst, certain textures are not polished, some maps has gaps and flaws, the animation is sometimes a bit clunky, but it doesn't matter. This is an excellent game. I'll leave all information in the description. Please don't forget to comment, subscribe and hit those balls please to make notification on your phone. Thanks. Peace.